Hi guys, welcome back to TNG Productions. My name is Tom.
My name is Paul.
And we're going to start a new series that we're calling Game Corner.
Yes.
Which is a more focused, shorter podcast that will look at specific game systems and events that are occurring therein.
Yep.
So our first episode, we're going to go...
That's a good explanation.
That's good wording.
Yeah.
So
basically we do big podcasts talking about general gaming stuff, but not focusing on any particular games.
Yeah.
In these ones, we're just going to spend 20 minutes just chatting about games.
Something specific. And something specific on the horizon for Guild Ball by Steamforged Game is an...
Surprise, the first one's about Guild Ball.
Yeah, of course it is. It's an upcoming Errata.
Yes.
Now, we should stay well in advance. The Errata is due in March. We are part of the Steamforged media program. However, we do have no information currently on the Errata, so nothing that we say in this podcast is alluding to anything that we already know. No. We're just going to talk through what we'd expect to see and maybe kind of just gauge the hopes, because a lot of people are expecting quite a big change.
Yeah.
And I think you and me, we've seen, 2 or 3 Erratas now. Steamforged always seem to err on the side of caution with their Erratas. They seem to kind of fix the big game-breaking things. I'm talking Thresher, I'm talking like the Season 1 Union picks and things like that. And they tend to do their big reworks, like the Alchemists, the Engineers needing a rework, and the Brewers at the end of a season.
Yeah.
So I think
they do a lot of the fixes as they go into a new season of the game. Yeah.
So I'm going to do an early elimination of things. I don't think the farmers are going to see major changes. I don't think Grange is going to change much. Yes, he's boring as hell, but I don't think he needs to be changed greatly. I don't think the Navigators are losing their re-rolls despite people wanting that.
No, I think the Navigators, definitely need an overhaul, and I don't think an Errata is just going to fix that for now.
I wouldn't expect to see anything change with the Blacksmiths. I know a lot of people think they're above the curve at the moment, but I think they probably need their moment in the sun, and they'll probably get a rework at the end of the season. Same with Midas for the Alchemists. He is the one model that Steamforged can never get right, despite the fact he's been very good every season. Smoke is fantastic, but I wouldn't expect to see that change until the end of the season when they can rework things.
Yeah.
So that is our caveat of expected players that we'd expect to see. So we're going to start with our teams, because we recently recorded a Butchers versus Hunters battle report.
We did,
which will probably be out earlier than expected, because we're expecting a nerf in those teams. So it usually goes out 3 months later, but it probably will be on soon. We played the, shall we say, tournament lineups.
Yeah.
Talking Ox Butchers with Boiler and Princess and all that lot into Scartha
Hunters with Chaska, Cena, and Veteran Minx.
Yeah. So let's start with you, mate. We all know the elephant in the room, or the bear in the room.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with the Hunters as they are at
Yeah,
the present
it
moment.
didn't totally one-shot Ox in one go or anything. You know, spoilers for the battle report.
No, there's not. I mean, let's move on quickly. There's nothing to discuss here.
Right, let's start with the bear, because we actually, before we pressed record here, we had a relatively lengthy discussion about what we'd change with it. Now,
nothing. I wouldn't change
shut
anything
up.
about it.
Play the game properly.
Okay. So the bear as it stands now is 5/7 move, 7 attack, 1/4, kick, 3 defense, 0 armor. And now generates 1 influence, which was part of Season 4.
It's got an incredibly fun playbook where whatever it hits, it will do that in momentous damage. So whatever the net hits are... Stop kicking the table, child.
Sorry, it's just sheer anger at what we're discussing.
However, a lot of people are expecting the changes to occur in the back of the card. Now, the back of the card has got Crucial Artery, Feral, Isolated Target, and Tough Hide. And that is too much for the little Barrington, I believe.
So the bear's been a massive one of the biggest changes for Season 4, especially for me playing Hunters, is the fact that it generates that 1 influence. It just makes it such an easy take.
Yeah.
What it has lost though is its
Furious
free
charge.
Its Furious Charge, and in place of that it's got Feral. So you're spending 2 to charge, but you're still getting a free attack basically.
Yeah.
I think it can lose Feral and Crucial Artery. Keep Isolated Target, because that's very
it's thing.
Hunters, yeah. Adding a condition like Bleed, which again delivers damage,
is OTT.
It's OTT. I can understand why, because
It's
a
a
bear's
bear.
attacking you.
Because someone watched The Revenant.
Yeah. And Feral giving it that extra attack. So we had a debate whether take away its 1 influence, give it Furious back, and lose Feral.
Could you give it Furious, its influence still, but make it a 1/1 character? So it's got its free charge when it can get it off, but if you bog it down in combat, it has to use its attack to push someone away so it can then do the charge. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think for that then you'd be looking to adjust the playbook where you'd need more pushes.
It's got a double push on 1.
That's true.
So, you know, and it's got a knockdown on 2. So what I'd anticipate happening there is it would use its 1 attack once it's been pinned in to either push someone away or knock them down.
So give it Furious, make it 1-1.
And then Furious into someone. Now, if the opposing team can bog it down, fair play, then it nullifies it. And that's how the bear has always played. But now it's got a bit more... Let's be honest. Even if
what you'd probably be aiming for then is the mauling.
Yeah, even if it stood there and it can't get its charge off, let's say it's engaged by 2 or 3 people, yeah, it's still going to do like 4 momentous damage to you.
Yeah.
So that's still going to be a hefty use of 1 influence. With its 2-inch melee zone, it's still going to be engaging people well. I would make it a 1-1 influence. I'd give it its Furious. I'd agree with you. I'd take Crucial Artery away. I'd take Feral away. Isolating target is fine. The bear is a missile on turn 1, and then it needs to be in trouble for the rest of it. Yeah. It's going to really hurt when it hits you, then it's going to be in trouble. At the moment, it's not got much trouble. It uses its Feral attack for free to push someone away, and then it's still got 2 to play with.
Yeah, so it knocks somebody down generally or pushes somebody away.
Whereas if you take the Feral away, it has to spend that 1 influence that's its cap to do that, and then if it can get free, then it can charge into you. If not, because a bear is not going to bounce from person to person.
So... would you keep its mauling character play then? Because that is effectively its get out of here.
Yes, and I think because that's...
And would you keep that as high, or would you move it higher?
I think
as in the risk-reward of... if you're going to get a 2-inch push on 1, or do you go for the big hit and...
I think that, because in Season 3, they brought in its big shouty thing to push people away, didn't they? I think the mauling does the job. I think you leave it at 4 hits, 7 tack, 4 hits against a 4-1 model, you're going to have to roll relatively well.
Yeah.
And then, that's its get out of jail free. So you really bog it down. And I think that's a more elegant solution than just gutting everything off the bat. Yeah. A lot of people want it to lose isolated target. Yes, we know Scartha can make it quick and she can put down the snare, but that's what she's there for.
Yeah. What about reducing its move as well then, on the subject of Scartha?
Make it a 4-6.
Make it a 4-6.
Making a 4-6 I think would be a fair change as well.
Especially if you're giving it Furious back in that sense, yeah.
And we did think about kind of reducing its tack down and making it have one of the few models in the game that has a higher playbook than its tack. But actually, I think make it 4-6. Still got 2-inch melee, so it's got the standard 8-inch range. Yeah. I think we fixed it there.
I think, yeah.
I just think it would still be a good choice because it generates the 1 influence, like you said, which is so critical.
Especially, what it was so crucial in the Hunters team when they first came out was the influence usage, because Hain only generated 1.
They really struggled with their influence. And I think there's still other issues within the Hunters that we won't talk about, like Veteran Minx being very, very good with her 5-1 and getting stuck in.
Going on to characters that don't need touching again.
But the bigger issue is Chaska. Chaska with his boombox. He's got a 3 influence character play that does 6 damage. Now that is in line with the power creep that's came in with Season 4. You know, Boiler is my best example. He has a 2 dice character play that does 3 damage and puts bleed on someone. 6 damage though. I just turned around to Paul before we recorded and he was like, what would you change?
Boiler putting 3 damage and the bleed condition on someone is technically 6 damage.
It is technically 6, but how many other guilds have someone who can roll 3 dice and do 6 damage?
Just the butchers, really.
So,
Fill it.
So there's the guy. The guy's got the shotgun. He's got the double push on 1. He's got a momentous 2 on 2. He's got a 4-long playbook with 5 tack. He's already got a good playbook.
Where's a coonskin hat? It's.
Well, the guy's got an 8-inch sprint. He's got a 3-6 kick. He goes up to 4s and 1 when he's in cover or rough ground. He's got an awesome playbook. He doesn't need to be banging out 6 damage, especially when the Hunters have Minx, the ability to make him do it for free, or Hearn, the ability to pay momentum to do it.
Okay, I think for Boombox...
It is his signature play.
It is his signature play.
4 damage and 4-inch push.
4 damage and a 4-inch push.
Because Boiler doesn't push people with his knives.
I was going to say a 3 damage and a knockdown.
We're negotiating now.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 damage and a knockdown.
Well...
because it is a shotgun, effectively.
I'll tell you what, who we can compare this to. Ballista has got his Deadbolt, which is a 3 influence, 2 or 3 influence, I'll double check in a second, and that is a 4-inch plus knockdown and 3 damage.
4-inch push, knockdown and 3 damage, yeah. So there you go. So, but then you may as well just have Deadbolt.
It might as well be Deadbolt.
See, I forgot about Ballista. I didn't think about Ballista.
Ballista's the best comparison I could think of.
Yeah, for a ranged target, isn't he?
We're just pulling up Ballista's card here.
Pull up Ballista's card.
Let's
see what
we've got. Deadbolt, 2 influence, 2-inch push, 3 damage and knockdown. So I correct myself there.
Okay.
So let's make Chaska's.
So for the additional influence,
3 dice, 4-inch push, and either knockdown and damage or 4 damage. I think 4-inch push, 4 damage.
4-inch push, 4 damage.
Yeah. No knockdown.
No knockdown.
Because realistically, his knockdown isn't.
But he has got range 8 on his deadbolt. What if we reduce the range of boombox down to 4 inches?
So it is like a proper shotgun, so like a video game shotgun.
Yeah, so it's like a shotgun where it's close range, and
let's make it fun then, because I know Steamforge like this. Make it 4-4-4, range 4, 4-inch push, 4 damage. I mean, I'm not going to make it 4 influence because that'd be a joke. But 3 influence.
Yeah, because then Chaska still could run 8, and then
get within 4.
And
he's close enough then to his target, even if he does a 4-inch push away. They're still within most people's charge range.
Yeah.
8 inches, he's still within range to do it. Whereas at the moment...
See, what I tend to use them for is to push them in the path of the beard if they've already activated.
Well, another thing you can do, because it's a 6-inch range currently and a 4-inch push, he pushes them 10 inches away. For most characters, they can't get back into him. Yeah. Whereas if you make it a 4-inch range with a 4-inch push...
Someone can potentially get back
it's fair enough they can get back into him.
Yeah, I think...
You happy with that?
I think that would... I think the Hunters deserve the day in the sun, to be perfectly honest.
I think Perkins has made sure that's worked.
Yeah, but I think that could work for Chaska.
Right, I'm just going to do a personal one here, and it's very short. I hate Ox with a passion, and everyone knows this. I personally think Ox being 3 and 2 with a 6-inch owner aura is too much, and I think the easy fix is either take 1 armor away or reduce the owner back to 4. So my rationale is this. When Ox is on the pitch, he's the target. You've got to get rid of him to buy you a turn of breathing space. So either he's a very survivable guy at 3 and 2 average, with a decent amount of hitboxes, 17, with a 4-inch influence of owner, so he keeps him a bit more cramped close to him, or he's a bit more paper glass cannon like the Butchers, 3s and 1 with a 6-inch aura. Both is not great.
Yeah, I think the way to I think the 6-inch aura is for the owner is it's Ox. He's got Get 'em Lads, which is a 6-inch aura. It coincides nicely with his legendary play. So I think keep the owner as it is
and make him 3 and 1.
A
lot of people might disagree. A lot of fellow Butchers might disagree, and I know I have my
Ox. I was going to call him Box then. Ox needs his day in the sun because once Philip was released, that was it. Ox never seen play.
Yeah.
Ox needs his time. He is the Master Butcher. He is supposed to be there. I'm the Butcher's Guild.
He is, but we also have Veteran Ox now for that purpose.
We do have
who is that guy?
For that.
So that's the simple one that I would just like to interject. And we can't share anything, but things are about to change in terms of the general makeup of that anyway. So not in terms of Ox, but I mean in terms of the way this foot functions. I think he needs to be tweaked. Because Shank being 2 and 4 now, Veteran Gutter, Brisket, Boiler.
Well, we've said this several times, and I think everybody who plays Guild Ball said this. Season 4, they've gone, let's just give everyone steroids, and see where it takes us,
and then we'll knock it down from there.
Yeah, I think Ox's armor is what will fix that.
Right, let's go to the biggest change, the one I don't think anyone will be surprised, and that's Scalpel.
Spirit Bomb.
Now, not just Spirit Bomb, I think it's Voodoo Strings.
Strings, yeah.
I played a match midway through Season 3 with Mr. Perkins, and he jokingly just nudged me to one side and went, right, she's got this thing where she can push people every time she does an attack. And I grinned at him and just said, that sounds a bit... Well, I can't phrase exactly what I said, but it sounds a little bit strong. It's probably the phrasing. The thing with Scalpel is she's a very, very good character. And Paul and I both said in Season 3, once we actually used her, she was incredibly underrated.
Oh, yes.
Because Obulus is Obulus. Yeah. However, at the moment, she's got the ability to move someone every time she does damage. She has a Spirit Bomb, which she can trigger for free using a heroic play. She is a hard counter to
everything.
Ox Butchers, both sets of farmers, blacksmiths, Order in some cases, the Union with Rage.
Yeah.
She is a hard counter to any team, Brewers, any team that like to be close together. And because of that, you've seen an incredible uptake of that. Now, I'm not saying she's stupidly strong and you're going to win every tournament with her, because we're seeing the guilds more than ever are getting a varied set of results. However, she's way above the curve.
She is really good.
She's really, really strong. Voodoo Strings, I think, should be a once per turn, 1 push. She pushes 1 person.
Once per turn, 1 push.
So she can push someone 2 inches. Leave her Spirit Bomb, that's fine. I still think Unnatural Stamina, by the literal name of it, should just be second wind she can use for free, because that's the way it used to be. it's the voodoo strings. Now, I don't think getting rid of voodoo strings is going to do anything, but you're looking at attack 7 anatomical.
The order down? So once a 4-inch aura is still effectively on scalpel. What size of base? Normal size base, isn't it?
30 mil, isn't it?
30 mil, yeah. Because you still effectively got a 8-inch range.
I'll tell you what some people have suggested, which I actually think is quite an elegant solution. Make it just when she does momentous damage. Because she's got pushes on a lot of her damage as well. Maybe change the playbook so it's lost a little bit of some momentum and that's a bit higher up. So when she maybe gets her momentous 3, which I know is very high up a playbook, maybe knock that down a little bit. Maybe when she gets a 5 long playbook result, then she can do some pushing. Not every time.
What if you changed her playbook completely?
They would just rewrite the character.
Yeah. No, just change the playbook completely to give him more pushes, because that's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, I think we always used to joke that she was not as good fillet.
Yeah,
fillet has got dodge on every attack now.
Yeah,
so maybe you take voodoo strings off scalpel and every damage result's got a push.
Every damage result is a push, but just to make it that much more desirable, make most of the damage output, or all of the damage output momentous.
Yeah. So she's got momentous damage pushes, take voodoo strings away, but leave her with Spirit Bomb.
Yeah.
And I would take Spirit Bomb off the playbook. I'd make her pay 2 influence to use it.
It's then she's losing dodges as well, though, if we were to do that. So, or give her the option between a push and a dodge.
Or give her acrobatic.
Or give her acrobatic. Well, she's got second wind, hasn't she? So
yeah, she has got a dodge that she can use, actually, to be honest. 4-inch dodge available. I think you take Spirit Bomb off the playbook. Or
give her unpredictable.
No. She doesn't need unpredictable. With Obulus having unpredictable, it'd be like the Alchemist who have 2 captains with it. I would take Spirit Bomb off the playbook simply to avoid the 4 hits with a attack 7 anatomical model.
I just like that it's reference to Dragon Ball Z.
I know.
That's just awesome.
But she needs a Kamehameha nerf. So we've got a couple more contenders. I'll tell you who's an interesting one. And it's not a nerf because he's too strong. It's a change how he plays. It's Corsair for the fish.
Now, as a Corsair fish fan,
you're the only person in the world. No one likes playing against Corsair. No one likes playing as Corsair.
I don't like playing against. I don't like Season 4 Corsair. I used to love my favourite games, and they were some of the worst ones we ever played. Was Mason. It was Brick and Corsair locking it in the centre and just slugging it out. We could ignore the game and then we go, right, Corsair.
Who's gonna last man standing?
And I don't think we ever managed to finish recording.
No, there's so many that went in the bin at the end of season 3.
But Corsair should be get over here,
fight,
thump, get over here, thump, get over here, thump, and that's how he worked. Pull them in, knock them down, pull them in, knock them down.
Now what we've ended up with is he's lost all his momentous damage in line with the fish changes. They've all lost the momentous damage.
He's got quicker on his peg leg.
Yeah, he's got a 4-8 kick now.
Yeah, he's got the ability to kick on his peg leg.
Because he's lost the legendary, he's got that. I don't think he needs it. I think 4-6 is fine.
Yeah.
4-6, reliable passer. He gets it off to Angel and Sakana, they score. That's the way Corsair plays. However, what we've seen with the issue with him is he's gained coup de grace. So to make up for the fact that he lost his momentous damage, he's now got the ability that when someone's taken out within 6 inches of him once per turn, you get 3 MP. What that's led to is that his lineup now focuses on knocking people off the pitch. So Jack and Kraken focus on pushing people off the pitch within 6 inches of Corsair to get that coup de grace. And it's because all of their pushes tend to be momentous, or Corsairs definitely are anyway.
Yep.
It gets you a lot of momentum racked up. Completely legitimate playstyle with the way Corsair is, not the way Corsair is designed to play. And we know this from the developers. Yeah. Corsair is supposed to look at his legendary play, hook, line and sinker, 6-inch push, get over to me.
Yeah.
Kraken uses drag, pain, essentially.
Yeah. The idea behind the way I've always pictured the Corsair, Kraken, Jack lineup, which is something I always ran with Corsair.
Yeah.
So Corsair pulls them in, Jack comes in and thumps them away, and Jack brings them back in for Corsair to pound.
And let's not forget we've got Knuckles, who's going to be joining that scrum as well with the rookie. So you've got a lot of output there.
They have Angel and Sakana pinging the balls in on the wings.
So my simple suggestion would be knock off coup de grace, knock his kick down to 3-6, because I think it's stupid 4-8 kick with a peg leg dude. He might be amazing with his 1 kick.
Yeah.
But and I would make him the only fish who does momentous damage.
if that was the case, then I'd expect to see him getting more momentous damage, because with 1, 2, 3,
he's got a short playbook there in mind. He's still got his 5 and 6.
But he's got 3 on 4, so he'd be looking for wraps. So I'd be expecting to possibly see the drop the playbook drag, put the 3 in a push, 3 in a push up into his 3rd place.
That's a strong change.
Yeah, but if you're going to give him momentous damage, if you're not going to give him more damage, it needs to be reliable damage.
It's still relatively reliable with 6 tack looking for 4s. You get a decent roll.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you what I would do.
What you'd be looking for to ensure that you're getting those wraps, though, is going to be the
you've got the crowd outs,
and things like that. But what I was going to say is take his knockdown off 2.
I would say just make all of that non-momentous. So I would completely flip the way his playbook looks. So the knockdown and the drag are not momentous. The punching it. So if he needs to get someone into him, and he says he's used his legendary,
I'd say you keep the double, the knockdown double push.
Oh yeah, the top end of the playbook. That could be momentous. So that's what he's looking for good times.
Because you're looking at what he's got there. He's got 8 boxes, 3 of which are not momentous at the moment, and they're the 3 ones with damage. So you're gonna want more. If you're gonna swap it round, like you said, you'd want more damage.
Yeah, I think
you're
right.
In that case, to be able to get momentum.
But I would take. You think about it. If he does manage to get a wrap with the crowding outs, he could reliably get the momentous 3 and the momentous 1, 2 momentum per strike.
Yeah,
because that would be a momentous 1-on-1.
Yeah,
he's always getting momentum if he hits someone, so it's encouraging you to hit someone. But if he wants to tackle them, knock them down, or drag them himself, he's not. Which makes you play the team properly. It makes Kraken have to be the one who brings people in, and Jack. And he's the finisher.
I'd maybe take the pushes. I'd keep the drag as momentous, because that is still very much Corsair, what he does. So he pulls people in. So keep the drag as momentous and keep the damage as momentous. So you're gonna go for the momentous drag and then the momentous damage, because it's legendary plays all around bringing people in.
Could you leave the 3 damage where it is and make the drag momentous 2 drag? Or momentous 1 drag, so he gets a bit of damage on whoever he's hitting, and he drags someone in.
And leave the 3 where it is.
And leave the 3 where it is.
Well, in that case, then, with something like that, I think I'd be more inclined probably to push the 3 up. Because then you're aiming for the top end of your playbook to be able to do the big damage.
I think you're thinking,
and if you're getting the top end of your playbook, you're going to hope for a wrap.
I think getting the 4 comfortably with the fish with their 2-inch melees get wraps quite comfortably with Corsair with his current playbook style. So I think you can comfortably get that momentous 3, momentous 1 if you flip them.
Even if you push it up, yeah.
So
what we're saying is keep the first 3 columns as they are, push the 4th column
maybe up,
and take away his momentous knockdown. Change the momentous results around.
Or the alternative is leave it where it is and make the momentous knockdown double push on 5 the only momentous way he's knocking someone down. Yeah. Because to be fair, if he's having to knock someone down, Kraken isn't doing his job.
True.
The kick thing I think is a personal taste. I think everything else with him is pretty solid. He's got his sturdy, he's got his tough hide, he's still got one of the best backs of the book that anyone has.
Are we taking away coup de grace as well then?
Coup de grace goes, I think with the momentous damage, that's how it's done. And I think the whole turn then becomes how many people can Jack and Kraken weaken with non-momentous damage and knockdowns. But Corsair will make it back with his wraps and his damage. And then he plays more like that rather than, alright, we're just going to hang out on the wing and try and chuck you off.
What we've said there is it would very much completely change the play style of the fish.
But it would bring them back to the way they're supposed to.
Corsair fish, anyway.
Because the current play style doesn't quite work.
I think if we're going to see a change like that, it's going to be a change in a new season.
I think that's probably fair. Now, in terms of teams that we'd look to see an improvement from, I think actually we're in a very nice place. I think everyone knows the Farmers are struggling a bit, and the Falconers are...
It's good that the Farmers are struggling. The rest was just ridiculous.
The Falconers are struggling a little bit, but I think that's inherent with their play style. But I think this Errata is usually...
I just don't think anyone's broke the Falconers yet.
I think the Falconers are limited by their influence, and the same with the Blacksmiths were when they came out last season. But I think these Erratas tend to be a knockdown rather than a push up. Mm-hmm. I know there'll be that one person who will be like, Esters, change Esters. I don't think any model in the Brewers needs a change. A lot of people want to see Decimate go back up to a high attack. I don't think any of them need it. I think I've played a lot of Brewers lately. Yeah. A lot. I've played 2 because that's a lot for us. But But no, I'm quite happy with them. I think the only thing I'd say is it'd be nice if Tapper was 4-6, but I can understand why he's not in terms of influence. So yeah, that's our little crunchy overview. Let us know your thoughts. Just a little summary, and we'll be interested. We should make a wager now on how much we get completely wrong.
Oh yeah, I imagine we're not gonna be too far off with Cena possibly, and maybe Chaska
and Scalpel probably. But
I think Scalpel. Yeah, I think we're miles off with Corsair. I think
Corsair won't get changed.
Yeah, I don't think Corsair will get changed now that we've said it. Ox
won't get touched.
Yeah, I don't think Ox
knowing how Steamforge feel about the Ox team, I don't think he'll get touched.
Yeah,
but I think everything we've talked about are things that are popping up common enough to be player concerned, shall we say. But yeah, hopefully we'll see a real positive change and gets more people playing their chosen teams. I think hopefully it doesn't completely invalidate that backlog of 3 match reports that we've got that are all going to be pushed out before the errata. But yeah, we'll let you know when it comes out, and let us know your thoughts on what you'd like to see change.
Yes, thanks very much for listening, guys. Have
Take
a good
care.
one. Bye.